Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be looking at the much anticipated game, Remnant From the Ashes. This is a third-person survival action game mostly known as a looter shooter like games such as Division, Division 2, Destiny, Destiny 2, Borderlands, and Borderlands 2, and other less important games of the genre. In this game, you'll be able to set up alone or with up to two buddies of your choosing to brave the wilds of a post-apocalyptic world that has been overrun by monsters of several varieties. As some of the last surviving humans, you'll be able to mow down enemies including immensely powerful bosses, stacking tons of amazing loot, and even lay claim to your own stronghold and save what's left of humanity. Scavenging, upgrading, and specializing seem to play a great deal into the game, which makes sense when you look at the genre itself. You'll be given dozens of ways to kill your enemies with the use of weapons, armors, and mods to both. It seems team efforts will be recommended when defeating world boss type enemies, but that's to be expected. The difficulty of this game scales based on your own progress, going from difficult to insanely difficult. Like most successful looter shooters do, you can visit vendors near or at your base of operations in order to use valuable scrap found in the wilds to purchase new items or adding upgrades for your adventure. The more powerful the enemies, the greater the loot dropped. They even have a chance to drop rare upgrade materials plus more scrap. If you fail to maintain your gear score, however, compared to the enemies around you, you'll be torn to shreds. If and when you kill enough high-level enemies and bosses, you can use what you've collected to craft new weapons and armors with special abilities. Thankfully, when just starting out, the developers included a free mod to go with each archetype available, so you won't be too naked and afraid. Death and respawning are also key components of the survival game. In this particular looter shooter, death is expected, almost guaranteed even. In the beginning, thankfully, death will not be permanent through the use of world stones and world shards, much like the bonfires in the Dark Souls series. You'll respawn at the last location you interacted with these stones. When respawning, you'll be given fully replenished ammo and healing items. However, every enemy you defeated will be resurrected and in completely different locations than you left them. Now concerning multiplayer, once a teammate dies, you'll have a limited time frame in which to reach a stone and resurrect them. Otherwise, it's lights out until either the rest of the team wins or gets defeated. Same rules apply though, all enemies respawn in new locations. Now from what I've seen, this world doesn't just include our own inhabitants, turning into monsters like in series such as Fallout and Metro. The enemies we'll be facing are from different dimensions, so what that means is we'll be able to travel through portals and beat these guys on their own turf, Doom style. So far, there have been 4 areas spoken of, but only 3 of them have been outright described on the site. These areas have been named Earth, Yesha, Rom, and finally, the Swamp, which appears to still be a very, very big secret. Earth. Earth has 3 notable sections: the city, the subway, and the canopy. The whole area appears to be overrun with enormous trees and foliage, so much that it's literally blotting out the sun. Down below in the subway tunnels, tree-like monsters called the Root roam around the sewage-filled corridors waiting to turn you into compost. Heading above ground, the canopy is a supercharged hotbed of enemies. In this are the Root themselves that can be seen scarring and upheaving the land around it as if they were searching for something. The world has definitely become a Fallout-esque wasteland. Hardly any humans are left, and the streets are full of garbage and broken, empty skyscrapers. And that leaves us thinking, will humanity ever recover? Yesha. This world provides 3 locations as well: the village, the jungle, and the ziggurat. Venturing into the lush Amazonian paradise of Yesha yields a vast landscape of flora, fauna, and mysterious structures. The jungle is pleasing to the eye, but don't let it fool you. Danger lurks around every corner. You ever wanted to go on an adventure with your friends as a kid and live in a village of tree houses, kind of like the Ewoks from Star Wars? Well, Yesha's top species, the Pan, did just this. This goat-like species spends their lives dwelling in elaborate villages in the top of the forest, high above most danger. The ziggurat seems to be where the nobility of the Pan live. There are a few of these giant ornate places dotting the landscape waiting to be explored. My guess, with them being nobility, there may be some cool loot finds there. Rom. Rom has a mixture of old world desert landscapes featuring cliffside villages and overlapping aesthetic of underground technology. Rom also has the magic of 3 separate places: the Buried City, the Canyon, and the Citadel. The Buried City is just that, a city beneath the dunes. And a heretical society named the Akari has deemed this section of the world home. As we move up, the canyon is what features seemingly vacant cliffside villages, with evidence of all the inhabitants beneath beginning to re-emerge from whatever chaos fell upon them before the world turned to sand. The Citadel is the throne of the supposed undying king, named Ezlin. Now, Ezlin and his guards regularly orchestrate cleansings to prepare for the next intruder to be unlucky enough to cross into his domain. Rom had a once united civilization, and now these human-esque mutants roam in select groups struggling for power over the others. Last but not least, the Swamp. The Swamp has been revealed to be an upcoming area, but little is known about it other than the fact that it may be home to Shrek 5. Yeah, I know, I'm funny. If you wish to check out the game on your own, I'll be sure to put a link in the description. There you can sign up for newsletters about the game and even pre-order it. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in having a small video series covering the different species themselves. It'll most likely showcase how their environment could have possibly shaped what they look like today in different aspects of their livelihoods. And on that note, this is me signing off. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for me. Adios.